Here's the book for Lent. It says, Introduction. As a kid, I never looked forward to Lent. It was a time when we were supposed to give up stuff we liked. Who looks forward to that? At some point, though, I learned the meaning of the word Lent. It comes from an Old English word meaning springtime. It refers to the lengthening of days, the increase of sunshine. Trudging through the winter months in Connecticut, I finally had a reason to look forward to Lent. This is a season of renewal, of growth. Just as the earth seems to wake up during spring, we're called to wake up to the Spirit. There's another word I never liked as a kid, discipline. Discipline was an external concept to me. It was something that was done to me. Then at some point I discovered another kind of discipline. This kind was not external but came from within. It was self-discipline. It was a tool for growth. Even as kids, we could understand that good outcomes often required trade-offs. Practicing a musical instrument or training for a sport involved discipline. But we knew it would pay off in the future. As adults, we deepen that awareness. We set life goals and follow through on them even when it seems difficult. We learn the meaning of love not only as something spontaneous and fun, but as something that requires discipline for the sake of another's good. Self-discipline is part of Lent, but so are celebration and joy. Saint Teresa of Avila, the great Spanish mystic, is credited with saying, "There's a time for penance and a time for partridge." In other words, there's a time for fasting and a time for feasting. One does not fast for its own sake. One fasts for the greater good that comes from it. We fast for the sake of the feast. And during Lent, there is time for both penance and partridge. Lent is springtime for the soul. Whatever the Spirit is leading you to do, or give up, or add to your life this Lent, follow that call, and when Easter comes, we'll be ready to celebrate because we'll be awake. We'll be renewed, our hearts alive, ready for the feast. February 18, Ash Wednesday. This is the time. Readings. We are ambassadors for Christ, as if God were appealing through us. We implore you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. There are times when physically we know something just isn't right, but we can't put our finger on it. We don't feel right. We're tired. We start to think of the ways we haven't been taking care of ourselves. Sometimes we ignore the little warnings our body tries to give us. At other times we think, I need to get back on track. This doesn't only happen in our physical lives. It happens in our emotional, relational, and spiritual lives too. They're all connected, aren't they? If one part of us gets thrown off, the other parts can feel it too. We are whole persons, body, mind, and spirit. And sometimes it's our spirit that gives the warning. Our spirit, speaking from the true depth of our lives, calls us to pay attention, to remember who we are, and to consider what is most important in life. It impels us to search out the meaning in St. Paul's words. Be reconciled to God. Jesus' words from the Sermon on the Mount, proclaimed in our churches on Ash Wednesday, warn us about what deadens the spirit or soul. There are signs of this deadening. doing things just for others to see, doing things to gain applause or human approval, seeking only superficial rewards. We begin to live in a falseness, an illusion. We may not notice it at first, but our soul is crying out. It's starving. It wants to get back on track. Is your soul crying out? Are you looking for a fuller, deeper life? Then this is the acceptable time. Don't let it pass you by. Start feeding your soul. Embark on this journey called Lent. Preparation is Preparation is important when beginning any journey. We plan, we gather provisions. What do I need to carry with me during the days ahead? What prayer exercises or spiritual practices will accompany me? Lord, I want more than a superficial life, more than paying lip service to my beliefs and values. Help me to answer the call of Lent to prayer, fasting, and service. I want to savor the depth within me and live from that depth. Depth. Hmm. Why do they call it depth? Is that the best word for it?